Have you ever sat down to create content, sell on your Instagram stories, send the email, but you just couldn't? Maybe you're pre-period or you haven't signed a new client in a little bit of time. And even though you know your offer is incredible and the transformation you provide is so potent, something just feels kind of funky. And you've done enough of this inner work to know that it's BD you have, that the state in which you create from is the state that you attract from, that the fear that you feel is the fear that you project, and therefore you create more fear. But shifting out of this energy when it feels kind of gunky is the hard part. So, inside of this video, I want to give you a really short, like literally a 2-minute practice that flips your frequency, brings you back into your personal power to drop you into what I like to call the sales state, which is the money making zone. Because truly in business, you are going to have ups and downs and ups and downs. But who you be and how you handle these moments is what determines the amount of money that you make and the results that you ultimately get. And once you have this tool that I'm teaching you today, you will know exactly how to shift your personal power fast so that you can command the reality that you desire and the money that you want to be seeing in your Stripe account. Here is a sentence that I want you to remember. I can choose to stay in the energy of lack because I see it all around me, or I can choose to consciously shift into an energy of possibility of what I know it can be. A lot of the time, we see things around us. Maybe you haven't signed a client in a while. Maybe you've had a few clients drop off. Maybe your mastermind is like, the conversations are a little bit dead and you're starting to worry, are they going to resign? Are they going to leave? Are they going to go with somebody else? And all of these thoughts start spiraling. What this does is puts you into a disempowered state where you unintentionally, this is very unconscious, you become a victim of things outside of you, meaning you start now posting in hopes that you will save those clients from dropping off. You start showing up in hopes that you can convince them to stay. Or equally, maybe in your sales energy, you're feeling a little bit more needy because you're like, I need some more sales and I need some more dream clients coming through. Now, what ends up happening is that that positions you as the person who doesn't have personal power because we're expecting the external world to make us feel powerful. And as a mentor once said to me, if you only feel powerful when people are paying you, when money is coming in, when new clients are signing on, that is not true power. That is conditional power. You're like a kid who's only happy when they get their lollipop. You're somebody who is only happy when they get something. And you instead, as an entrepreneur, have to create this internal sense of personal power to be happy regardless, to be powerful regardless, to be poised and convicted regardless of what you are seeing on your external circumstances. And I want to preface this by saying, this does not just apply to beginners in business. I have clients who are earning 20, 30, 40,000 pounds or dollars a month, and they still come up with these same things. It's new levels, new devils. The same patterns will occur. And so learning this one trick that I'm going to be teaching you will completely eliminate any form of victimhood or frustration or lack of power that you feel and shift you into personal power immediately. Okay, so the first thing that we are going to do is called shifting your state. Now, what I want you to do is I want you to literally get up. Play your favorite song. Mine, for example, when I do this is either Pump It by Black Eyed Peas or Scream and Shout by Black Eyed Peas. You just want something that gets you out of the state that you're currently in. Now, we know energy is energy in motion. So the first things first is we want to move this stuck energy inside the body out of us. Okay. So put on a song, dance, and specifically, if you can, have a mirror in front of you. Now, what I want you to imagine in this mirror is I want you to smile. I want you to see yourself not as the you that is you today, because if you see yourself as the you that is you today with all of the things that are happening, all of the lack that is around you, all of the fear, all of the doubt, all of the yada, yada, yada feelings that you're seeing in this logical, because you're just looking in the logical, you're looking in the past to determine your future, which is a very dodgy game because that will create more of the past. And if you say you don't want the things that you have in the past, then we have to tap into the now, into the present, and know that anything is possible in this present moment. We only ever exist in this present moment. And if you are thinking about, well, yesterday I didn't make a sale, then that means you are creating and choosing that this present moment, I am going to bring in those feelings from yesterday and create more of those things. Anyway, that wasn't my point, but I digress. You're going to look in the mirror. and you are going to see your future self. Okay. Maybe this is you who has just gone ahead and made 10K today. Maybe it's you you don't even have to think of a specific outcome. It can even just be the possibility. Okay. This is my favorite frequency to tap into because when we're in the energy of anything is possible, anything can happen. I am the person who is trusting. I am the person who is working towards XYZ. I am the person, as an example, who today is believing that anything is possible for myself. That is a very believable frequency, right? And if you want to shift your state, you have to believe in something. If you don't believe you can make X amount of money or X amount of clients will sign, because maybe you're a little bit attached to the logical and the 3D, then just believe in possibility. I believe that anything can happen today. Did I expect a bird to poop on my head yesterday? No, but did it happen? Yes. Anything can happen that you don't expect. Things that you had no idea how they kind of came into fruition can happen. So I want you to look at yourself in the mirror as you're dancing, you're shifting your state. And I want you to think about tapping into this energy of possibility and tapping into the energy of what if? What if today a new client followed me, found me, and wanted to sign up for my highest ticket package? What if today one of my existing clients said, "You were the best mentor I've ever had. I want to re sign with you for another year"? What if today my mum's friend randomly messaged me and said, "Hey, your mum told me about you and I would love to work with you," right? There are like a million and one different things that could possibly happen today. What if today Oprah literally messaged you of like, "Oh my gosh, my team member suggested I should reach out to you"? Like, is this realistic? Maybe, maybe not, but could it possibly happen? Like on any time, like could it happen? Yes. So this is what I mean. We are tapping into this energy of possibility, and the crazier your possibilities, the more it expands your brain. Now, when we expand our brain, we shift from this state of lack, fear, scarcity. Okay. If you're thinking about, but I didn't make a sale yesterday, but this happened, but that happened, you are going to recreate the past. And my favorite thing about this is imagine you were in a boat. Okay. Imagine you're in a boat and you're paddling. So you've got your oars, you're paddling in this boat. And in front of you is the direction that you actually want to be going in. And instead of paddling and looking in front of you, you're looking behind you. Okay. You're looking behind you where you've just been. And if you've ever been in a boat, I don't know if you've been in a kayak. I grew up kayaking, had a very sporty family, like an outdoor adventure. If you looked backwards, your boat would turn backwards and you would go backwards. You would literally fucking go backwards. So I want you to remember that analogy of when you're thinking about, "Oh, but yesterday, oh, but the last time I sold no one bought, oh, but this, oh, but that," you have to decide consciously, this is a conscious choice, that may be true. Logically, it is true. You didn't make any sales yesterday, but does it serve me to look backwards and paddle backwards? No, because I don't want that. So I have to tap into this frequency, but what is possible for today? So that is the first thing we are going to do. We reset your energy, you shake it, you feel it, you let it pass through your body somatically. Why is this so important? Well, when we have pent up tension or frustration, what we often do is we try and like squish it. Okay. We try and squish it down. And when we try and squish it down and just forget about it, you will stay stuck at that laptop with no fucking ideas. Your creativity will be squashed. You will have nothing coming out of your brain that is actually good. You'll read through that content when you do feel good, like when you're ovulating in a few weeks' time, you read back through that content, you'd be like, "Who the hell wrote this? ChatGPT wrote it." Oh, I can tell. I can tell that it isn't you in your power. So we have to consciously, it is your job. I think Tony Robbins said this. It is your number one job as an entrepreneur, as a leader, as whatever it is that you do, as a mentor, as a coach, as a service provider, as a CEO. If you are leading a team, if you're leading a family, if you're leading even your partnership, your relationship, yourself, your number one job is to get inspired and to stay inspired. So we have to come back into this level of personal power every single day. Okay. So number one, we come into the personal power, we dance, we think about the possibilities of what's possible. Okay. We come into the possibility of what's possible. That will take you literally 2 minutes. The next thing that I want you to do is to list out 5 things that could possibly happen today. What are 5 really rogue things that could happen today? Like somebody could buy me some flowers randomly and they turn up on my doorstep and I could have 100 roses delivered to my doorstep today. Is that true? Is that possible? Yeah. I could go viral. Like my account could go from from 9,000 followers on Instagram to 90,000 overnight. Is that possible? Yes. So why am I asking you to do this? Well, I'm asking you to tap into a different timeline and a different realm. How do you think you would show up differently if you had this like magnetic, like childlike play and possibility about life? Do you think that you would create better? Do you think that content would be easier? Do you think that you would sell more? Absolutely. So it's your job to shift your state when you feel like this. It's your job to tap back into the power. The next thing that I really want you to do is to remind yourself who you are and create an alter ego. Again, I know I said this is 2 minutes. Technically, you can stack all of these at once and you could technically do it in like 3 minutes whilst the song is playing. I want you to imagine you have an alter ego. Before Beyonce had Beyonce, she wasn't feeling confident. Before Beyonce was the stage persona she is today, she needed to create almost this alter ego. And there's a great book called from Todd Herman called The Alter Ego Effect. She created this alter ego to bring her into this feminine, pure power and magnetism before she felt that level of confidence. Now, on these days that you're not feeling your best, you have to tap into the money zone. So I like to call mine Evie motherfucking Dawson. One of my friends says theirs is like V like 28. So like if they're 28, they'll say V28. So what is yours? I also had Evie Dawson 2.0, but I feel like I outgrew that. So now it's Evie motherfucking Dawson. And I want you to think about this alter ego. How does she say things? How does she sell? What is the conviction, the poise that she has? How would she post today? What would she kind of what kind of content would she be saying? And ideally, if you can imagine the lifestyle this person would have, would she be somebody who is currently making, let's say, $100,000 a month? Okay, so if she was making $100,000 a month, what would she be posting on her Instagram? Would she be saying, please buy from me? No. She would be posting with poise, with conviction. She would be, if you already had, another option is like, if you already had 10 clients lined up in the DMs right now, what would you post on your stories? You'd be like, oh my gosh, like inquiries are flooding in. I feel amazing. How can I continue to ride this momentum? And so, what we're basically doing is we are manufacturing feel good hormones and momentum. We are creating that for ourselves. And this is the truth of what has to happen because you can't create abundance from lack. You will not create sales and magnetism, and people will not want to buy from you if you are in fear, lack, and scarcity because they can feel this energy and this heaviness of like, I don't think this person wants to be here because maybe you're complaining or maybe you're not in your power. So your number one job is to tap into your personal power every single day. This is what gets you in the money zone. You can call me woo. I have like 5 other YouTube episodes on how your energy dictates your sales strategy. I will link them at the end of this video because truly your energy is more potent than any sales strategy I could possibly give you. Every strategy matters. Every strategy works. But do you know what is underneath those that considers and counts of 95%? Because sales is a subconscious game. 95% of it is who you be, your frequency, and your identity. And if you are in personal power, like 99.9% of the time, because you have this little 2 minute hack that you can use every single day, multiple times per day if you need to, what is going to change for you? So much. Sales will be magnetized. Clients will be magnetized. You will never feel victim to your circumstances again. And instead, you will be in this most powerful energy, being actually the version of you that your dream clients want to buy from. If you want to be a highly in demand, sought out person, you have to become that person now, and the results will follow. It's all in shifting your identity. It's the same with fitness, right? When I was the fitness coach, I would tell the exact same to my clients. If you want to be 55 kilos, have a lean, toned body, and feel incredible every single day, you have to be that person now. You have to put yourself in their shoes. What would they be eating? Would they be complaining about having to go to the gym? No, they would be somebody who loves the gym. Okay, how can I cultivate the joy and the love for the gym now before that happens? I did that. I gaslit myself into liking coffee. When I started drinking coffee, I hated it. I would hold my nose, neck it because I wanted to be cool and drink coffee. And I would be the person who liked coffee. I would order coffee wherever I went because I wanted to be that person. It is be, do, have. If you want a result, you have to come into your personal power and be that person now. So, this is really all about the mindset, the nervous system, and the somatics and the frequency so that you can shift it on demand, collapse time to your results, and become the person who always gets what she wants. If you found this episode useful, I will link all of the other episodes where I've spoken about actually sales strategy and also the energetics behind sales of why this is so important. So, just to recap the 2 minute reset, you're going to put on your favorite song. You are going to physically shift your state. You're going to look yourself in the mirror, pointing to my mirror. You're going to remember your alter ego, and you are going to think about the version of you who already has the result that you desire, how she would be thinking, acting, being, and what she would do differently now, and then embody it. You can do this multiple times per day, asking yourself, what would bring me into the zone of making money today? How do I be a magnet to money? This is what you need to do every single day, as many times a day as you need. Go and implement. Let me know in the comments how you get along, or you can drop me a DM on Instagram. My handle is It's Evie Dawson. If you love this, please make sure that you drop me a subscribe, give me a comment, let me know how you got on. And the next video that I would highly, highly, highly recommend that you go and watch is this training on the content that makes people buy. Because now we're in the money zone and you're feeling good and you're like, yes, I know exactly like who I am. I know exactly my power, but you're maybe not sure on the exact content that moves high ticket clients to buy from you ASAP, that positions you as the authority, the category of one, and that pulls them closer rather than you having to like push for sales. Then go and watch this video on the content types that you need to be implementing to sign dream aligned clients with very minimal effort. I will leave it here. Have a beautiful rest of your day, and I will catch you in the next video.